right, ladies, we are live on YouTube. It is May the 16th, 2021, Sunday night, as our amazing boss babes have gathered together again to see what we can, ladies, we are live on see YouTube. What we can learn tonight. May the 16th, see if I can turn off this volume. Sunday night, as our amazing boss babes have gathered together again to, all right. It happens, you guys. You think after 3 years of doing the Boss Babe calls, I could get over there to YouTube and turn the volume off quicker than I did tonight. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So listen, tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to have the directors come on here in a few minutes, and we're going to do a little bit of Q&A for the directors. And I asked in the Boxer group if you had any kind of questions, but I never saw any. So let me see if anybody did. One moment. No. Okay, that's okay, because I have questions for them. So I'm going to ask them questions. But in the chat, if you, as a consultant, start thinking of something, put the questions in here, because we're going to answer every single question you may have tonight. Isn't that exciting? Like, where have we been all your life? I don't know. Okay. So the title today is Find a Place to Win. We have 6 weeks left. 6 weeks left before the end of the seminar year. Seminar year ends on June the 30th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Boss Babe calls and 3 days left. That's it. Can y'all believe it? So we're going to do a little reminder of what our goals were, because, you know, like the first of the year when we told y'all, and we told all of us all the goals. So I'm going to share my screen with you just for a minute, and I'm just going to pull up a couple of the slideshows for the Seminar 2021 promotions that we talked about almost a year ago, 10 and a half months ago. Okay. So I'm going to just zip over here past this stuff and get to the contest. Okay. So this is one of them. If you were these are some of the places to win. Okay, the National Queen's Court of Sales. Let's talk about that. Did I miss this? Is what I want to talk about first. Okay, being an all-star. So if you were a star consultant, did 1,800 wholesale or more the first 3 quarters, and you do it again this quarter, then you're going to win one of these beautiful Ted Baker bags. So I have had one of my consultants ask me, how do I get that bag, that luggage, whatever it is, and this is how it is. So, you know, look back and see. Now, if you joined, let's say you joined the second quarter, you joined in October, but you were a star that quarter and the next quarter, and you do it this one, you can also win. And so anyway, but either way, you want to be a star consultant, right? Either way. And the quarter ends 1 month from now. It ends on June the 15th. So these are the different prizes. They all are different levels that you can win according to how much you do. All right. And so it starts out at this little wristlet. It goes to the pink shopping bag, and then all the way up to the big tote. All right. So that is one of the things that you can win. And you have to register for a seminar, which is coming up. It's going to be $50. It's going to start in June, but you do get $40 of free product. So it's like cost you $10 after you sell the product. Okay. Next is the National Queen's Court of Sales, 40,000 retail. It's an average of $116.67 wholesale a month, and it's $34,600 orders. So some of you might be on track for that. And if you do, you win one of these really beautiful rings or a $500 cash. All right. Okay. Then there's a Princess Court of Sales. Princess Court is 20,000 retail. It's an average of $834 wholesale a month, $17,600 orders. Okay. And if you do that in our Mary Kay National area, you win this beautiful jewelry set. So here's the thing. If you could have another national, let's say you're not in the Mary Kay National area, your national sales director probably has a nice gift for anyone in the Princess Court of Sales. So it's pretty much standard across the board. It's half of the national court. So you want to look at that. So maybe you have in 15,000 and you only need 5,000. Well, just remember, wholesale is half of that. So wholesale would be, if you need 5,000 retail, that's 2,500 wholesale. which if you did a $1,500 this month and $1,500 next month, you could do it. So some of you are closer than you think. So look at that, see what you need, and how could you stretch for that, okay? And the National Court of Sharing is 24 Great Start new team members. All right, personal, new, qualified team members. And then that's average of 2 a month, and you win your B here or the bracelet. All right. And then they have the Princess Court of Sharing, and it's that same necklace set. And I think if you do 2, you get something else. I think you get a gift card as well. That's 12. So look in that and see. It's an average of 1 per month. Okay. There are limits on that and on this one, because you can't get more than, I'm not going to say the limits. Y'all look that up or call your director. It's on the qualifications. I kind of want to say, so in fact, some of the directors in the chat may say it, and we'll go over that in a minute. Somebody look that up. What is the most you can do in June to count? Okay. All right. Then there's a unit. Let me go back to this a minute. There is also a unit court of sales and a unit court of sharing. So every director does a little different. Like for mine is we do half of the Princess Court. So if you do 10,000 retail, then you'll be in the unit court of sales. And if you do half of the Princess Court, that would be 12 Great Start qualified, then you're in the unit court of sharing. So that's something else you could go for. So you may go, man, that's, it's way over my head, this other one, but you could be in the unit court. All right. Okay. And then, of course, is the unit building B. All right. And that is any director that has at least 50 Great Start qualified new consultants in their unit. All right. Which is pretty exciting. Okay. And these are the prizes for seminar. Just to remind you, this is the Seminar Court of Sales, the rings you can choose from, or $500 cash. This is the B and the bracelet. Okay. Or $525 cash if you didn't want. And then these are the runners up of the courts with the, you had the B, and then you had these crown rings. All right. And this is $500,000 for the sales directors. This is the ring for that. This is the prestige ring. That's the unit building B. And then, of course, triple star is someone who does the court of sales, the court of sharing, and as sales directors, a circle of achievement, at least 300. And then you get this necklace with one of the diamond charms, or whatever you want to call them, on there. Teardrop pendants. All right. And then you build on those every single year. Okay. So really, it's just like, where do you want to be this year? Where do you want to end up on June 30th? Do you want to end up as a senior consultant? 1 or 2 active team members. Some of you are new. Maybe that's a good goal for you. And it's easy, very easily achievable in the next 6 weeks. Do you want to end up being in red, a star team builder? I mean, hey, that's where the money is. You get $100 bonus when you're in your red jacket, a first time, right? And you get commissions. If you get them this month and you get them qualified, you get a $100 bonus on each Great Start qualified team member you have this month. So that's a pretty big deal. And you get the commissions. You could be a team leader. Maybe you're already in red. Once you set a goal to be a team leader, that's 5 to 7 active team members by June 30th. Elite, 8 active. Or there's a new, since this slide was done, there's a new place for elite team leader. And that's someone that is a team leader with at least 5 and has 1 red jacket on her team. So either way, you would be an elite team leader. Then you could finish up the year as a DIQ. You could start DIQ June 1st with 10 active unit members or team members, or you could start as a DIQ July 1st. Okay, so look at that. And then this has changed. This is 30 now. That changed in the month of January. Like I say, this slideshow was for when we started in July, actually. And then, of course, director is the kind of same thing. Senior director, future executive, executive senior, elite executive senior, and then national. So, you just kind of start thinking about that as where you want to land here, and then about those bonuses that you could earn. So I just wanted to show you those. And what, the other thing I did want to say is, like, what car do you want to drive? Because you could get on target for the Grand Achiever car this month. This month, you could get on target 5 active team members and 5,000 wholesale in the month of May, and you're on target for the car. All right. And then you see the rest of the qualifications down below. So that could be something you could do. If you're a sales director, we always do it by the quarters. So what car could you get into by June 30th? And you want to look at that as well. And so this is the Chevy Malibu. That's what you can win. And if you wanted to take the cash, it's $425 a month. So not a bad deal for the Grand Achiever. And then they have the Premier car. It's an Equinox, or you can get $500 a month. Then they have this set. Now here's the deal, ladies. This just to tell y'all in case you missed it, the Premier Club, this ends June 30th. So this is going to be no more. So directors, if you want to earn this Premier Club car, you got to do it by June 30th. All right. Then they have the Cadillac. Of course, you can take that, or $900 a month. And then they have the pink Cadillac Plus, which also ends June 30th. Okay, so I did want to make note of that. We've already got the message on that. And if you saw your little email that comes every Friday, it said it in there. Okay, so, and then of course, national sales directors, let's just move on up there. That's where we all need to be anyway, right? Okay, and basically you want to set a goal right now and find a place to win in the next 6 weeks. And that's really what I wanted to share with you guys today, as far as what are you going to do? And if it is to be, it's up to me. And thought that would be a great reminder of what we talked about July the 1st. We're like, oh yeah, those goals. Forgot about that. Yeah, there were some goals I was going for. What were those goals, right? I mean, we all get so excited. Like, what did I say I was going to do? Okay. So y'all can still do it. There's a lot of people nowhere near their goal. I'm not kidding you. And they somehow, some way will get it done June 30th. So if you don't give up, besides the limits, that Mary Kay puts on you, otherwise anything is possible. It really is. Okay. So I am going to bring, and thank you for your question, Maureen. She says, how do you know when you've done enough for the day, being that we don't punch a time clock? Okay. And then we're going to talk about that. And thank you, Jana. That's what I was thinking. I was like, is it 13 or is it 10? It's 13 qualified is the most you can do in 1 month. So this is what that means. That's any month, right, Jana? So if you have no recruits, 0, you've not got any qualified recruits for the year, you still could win that bee by getting 13 qualified right now in this month of May, and then get you 11 qualified next month, or 11 this month and 13 next month, or 12 and 12. Okay, so you can still do it. It's still possible. Now, if by the end of the month you don't have that bee, then you cannot win the bee. But you can make a lot of money. You can get on target for your car. So don't let that bother you. I mean, let it bother you, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. And thank you for your question, Shannon. Okay. I'm going to add the directors on the little screen here.
I don't know.
And y'all probably, somebody needs to mute themselves. I'm not positive who it is. I'm going to add the directors on here. Y'all can unmute directors. Let's get them all on here. Aren't they beautiful? And the birthday girl. Shut up, Jana Strunk. Woo! Happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Loree, we celebrated her birthday last night. So happy birthday to Loree and Jana. Okay, let me see. Katie. And directors, if you're not going to speak live, then just let me know, or you can. Oh, actually, I can't spotlight people that aren't live. So Katie, sorry about that. So Katie and Loree are not, they're just got their picture up. So if y'all decide to go live, let me know. Message me over there. Okay, so you guys, we have the amazing Sharon Strasberg to my right, your left, probably. We have Rosemary Kane, give her a big hand. We have Sayla Love, and we have Jenna Strunk. And so honestly, between the 5 of us, we can answer anything you have a question about. Right, ladies?
Cleta, there's Loree. Do you see Loree live?
Is she live? Let me add her.
She's on there now.
Okay, Loree, we're going to add you. We're going to add you. I knew she was driving, so she looks pretty.
She does.
Right, awesome. And the amazing Loree Barfield. Woo! She got her earphones on. Okay, so you are muted, Loree. So when you get ready to talk, you can just unmute. So the first question that we have on here let's go back up to Maureen. She says, how do you know when you've done enough for the day? Like she's in DIQ, she's on target for her car. How do you know when you've done enough for the day, being that we don't really punch a time clock? Okay, so who would like to take that and expound on that a little bit? Jana? Come on, birthday girl.
I can't wait to tell you, because right in front of me is my brain dump for the week. And so from my brain dump, I know how I need to prioritize and what I need to put on my 6 most important lists for Monday. And so, have you completed what's on your 6 most important day list for Monday? That's how I will know if I've done enough for Monday. And so, and on those things, I would encourage you to put income producing activities, not organizing your office, things like that, and put specific things. If you're going to book appointments with Susie, Joni, Jill, and Jackie, put that on maybe your number 1 list of people to contact for booking appointments. That way, if you can be as specific as possible, that way it's clear and measurable. That's it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because if you haven't written down exactly what you're trying to accomplish, then you can go to sleep like a baby, because you're like, yep, everything I said I was going to do, I did. Now, Jana, what would you do if it's like 11 and you have not finished that stuff? Some of it.
Well, I would probably carry over the most important things for the next day. I'd put them on my list for the next day, and I would put the top priority things first. So if you don't have any appointments on your books and you have booking at number 6 on your list to do, no, sister, move that up to number 1. Do that booking first. Do the most important productive thing that's going to build your momentum first.
Okay, beautiful answer. All right, who else has a comment on that? About how do you know kind of that you're done for the day? Because here's the thing, if you love what you do and you really have a big goal, directors, we know, and consultants, you almost could do 24/7 Mary Kay, because we like it and we want to do it, and it is hard to turn it off. So what else has anybody else found for this that's been helpful for them? Anybody got
I go to prayer. I think I just go to prayer and ask the Lord, am I doing what you want me to do? And hopefully my desk is cleared, because if it's cluttered, I can't do that. So I think prayer always helps me. And if you have a feeling of peace, then you've done your day. I think you're ready. He wants you to get a good night's sleep, because there's always tomorrow. You can finish again if you have to.
That's good. Good advice. Very good. And, Linda Tupin, when she was here, she was really big on that time schedule. And, I know, Maureen, you were here with that, where you take a weekly plan sheet and you actually do like a whole week, and you put in your hours, of every hour and what you're doing, and color them in different colors. Because, you can win a car, become a director, and you can still, love your husband and, love on your children and your grandchildren, right? You don't have to neglect everybody to get your dreams come true. Now, on the 30th of June, you may have to neglect them for just a minute, but it's okay. Just like anything, but if they know up front what you're doing, it's really important to me. Brad knows not to plan any kind of something on June 30th. I'm going to be right here in the same desk until it's over, right? So, but thank you. That's really great advice. All right, let's go ahead to the next one, which is kind of similar. And these are both from our DRQs. Shannon says, directors, what does your grind look like when you're hitting goals? What does your grind look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's important, when you're, especially to Maureen's question and to Shannon's question, that it is important to have a list, and it is important to work every day and try to, not do it 24/7. But if you are in DIQ and you have hard set goals, you have minimums that you have to make from month to month, sometimes you have to just go to the extreme. You know, you have to work really hard. It's not forever, but if you have a goal to finish in 1 month or whatever, that 2 months or whatever the goal is, sometimes you just have to grind it out. It's not going to be forever, but it is important. I can remember, you know, my last night of DIQ, and many of you have heard this story, but, you know, I was far, far away from my goal. I mean, I needed, I don't know, 9 or 10 people. It was crazy. I had driven an hour that day to facial a girl, and that fell through. And so I packed up to go to Cletus, and my son was here. He said, Mama, where are you going? I said, well, I'm leaving and I'm not coming back till I'm a sales director. And so I left, and I mean, there is a picture. We finished that night, and I looked like I had been drugged through the mud or been drinking 5 weeks. I mean, it was horrible, but we finished. And so I never heard from that particular son that night. And the next day I said, Chad, why didn't you call me? And he said, Mama, I was just afraid you hadn't hit the goal. And he did not want to call me. And so, but I was determined. I thought I was calling people at midnight to get people out of New Year's Eve parties to ask them to sign. And I'm not saying that everybody has to do this. Was just what happened with me. But I had worked really hard ahead of time and talked to a lot of people and said, if I need you, can I call you? Guess what? I needed them. But sometimes you just have to work. You just have to work and to get it done. And then when you hit the goal, you can back off a little bit, you know.
Great advice. Great advice. You know, and for like my unit members know that the end of March, you know, we were going for that Pink Cadillac Plus, and we were going for it for 6 months. But like, if I don't went to bed that morning of the last day of the month, we wouldn't have done it. I mean, like, it was not there. So when it got done, I mean, like, I worked that whole entire day on it and said, okay, it's crunch time. That's what I call it. You know, let's get it done. And so Shannon, you know, and Maureen too, and any of you other directors that could be watching this, you know, there is a time that you're like, look, in your mind, you're like, it's getting done. And, you know, Lord's going to be there with you, but you've got to put those efforts in so that you've got somebody to call at the end. Like Stacey lined it up and said, hey, now if I get down to need one more person, will you do it? Or like, can I call you? And they're like, all right, and I've done the same thing. And one was my 70-year-old aunt, my 80-year-old mother. And they're like, if you get down to needing just one more order, call us. And I'm calling them at midnight. They're both, one of them taking Ambien, and, you know, they're like, Martha's about to go to sleep. What, do you need us? I'm like, I need y'all. So anyway, they love me and they love Mary Kay. That's the greatest thing. And so my aunt's still a consultant today. So anyway, thank you, Selah. Great tips. All right, let's go down to the next question. Rachel, newer consultant, just became a senior consultant. She says her question is, what do you say to women when you are out and about, and how do you get their info to follow up with them? Who wants to take that? Loree or Rosemary, any of y'all want to take that one?
I can take that. Oh, Loree, did you want to go or you want me to go? Okay, she's okay. So what I do is, you know, it's been weird the last year because I feel like I have not done near as much of that as I had been, you know, and it takes a lot of guts. And I would advise you to go with Jana, because when you see Jana go after somebody, you are like motivated because you are not going to let her get that person ahead of you. And it's, you know, it used to be when we first started going someplace, it was like, I would be like kind of backing off. Now it's like, oh no, she's not getting that. I mean, we don't really do that, but there is a little bit of competition. Right. And so, you know, really it's a matter of just striking up a conversation. Usually I start with a compliment. You know, a sincere compliment, not just, you know, something off the wall. Start with a sincere compliment and just start talking to the person a little bit. And then I usually ask if what I like to do is get their number right away, not just give my card. If you just give your card and don't give the information, then you're kind of stuck. But when you get their information and you go ahead and put it in your phone, you know, I usually just do that and ask them if they'd like to try some samples. or, give me their opinion. So it's usually just something as simple as that. But yeah, go with Gianna, because, you'll see her little antennas perk up and you're like, oh no, I'm getting that one. But in all fun though, I mean, we do that in fun. But that's what I would do.
Okay.
I'd like to piggyback on Rosie's advice.
Okay.
I think it's so good. If you will have a picture on your phone that it's like a digital business card saved in your photos, then you can say, I'd love to give you my business card. And they say, oh, sure, that'd be great. And then you look through your purse and say, oh my goodness, I don't have any of my paper ones, but I do have my digital one with me. What's a good number I can text you on? And
Okay.
then you've got their phone number.
Boom.
And then you walk away and you put her in your address book under A, like maybe AAA, like just somewhere where you can see all of the people that you met in public. And you might put Susie Q met at Dillard's.
Mhm.
And so some way that you can remember exactly who she is, so you can go back and check with her the next day. Hey, it's so-and-so. I'd love to send you a pampering package or get together with you. Boom.
Perfect. And if you're not, okay, hang on. I was just gonna say, if you don't have a fancy digital business card, just take a picture of your business card.
Yes.
Is that what you're gonna say, Shannon?
But no,
Because
I was also going to add, I just heard this the other day. It made so much sense to me. Ask her if you can take a selfie with her. And then you've got a picture of her and she has a picture of you. So when you call her, she already knows who you are because it's going to pop up on her phone.
that's right. And that's why if you get your pictures, if you get your cards with your picture on it, here you go. There you go. Then that's always good, because like when I send my card, they actually have my picture, and then they'll kind of maybe remember me too. But I love that idea of grabbing a selfie. Once they let you do it, then say, hey, let's do a selfie, so then I can remember who I'm calling or who you're calling, right? That's great. Great tip. Great tip.
The other thing that I do is as soon as I leave them or walk away, is I go ahead and text them and say, thank you so much. It was great meeting you. And if I talk to them about a product, I can't wait to let you try the clinical solutions or something like that. That way it sparks my memory. Or if I talk to them about something in particular, like a child or a dog or whatever, I'll comment on that in my text message. So that way I have it, the next time I text them, so that I can ask them about it again, because I will forget them. Because you just found about meeting people, and I need that kind of tickle file in my phone to be able to remember, where I met them and what we talked about. So.
Hey, we can't hear you because it's Barfield and they're just chatting over there. She knows what I'm talking about. I hear him over there talking about I-75 or whatever else. But anyway, that's a great idea. Text them as soon as you leave the store or whatever. And so let me tell you another little tip. This is so great. Okay. And I've done this twice with sales directors, but you can just do it with a friend. Let's say a friend wants to go shopping. Okay. And you really don't need anything. And you don't really even need to spend money. You're trying to make money, not spend money. But she loves to shop and she needs some stuff. You're like, hey, I'll go with you. Okay. So y'all go and you help her find stuff to try on in the dressing room. And while she's in the dressing room, you're chit-chatting with everybody. And I've done this with Diane Lundgren was in town. She's a top director. And I did not need to buy anything, but I was loving just going with her. So she go in the dressing room, I pile her up with stuff. And then out she's out, I'm like, yeah, I said, I'm a sales director of Mary Kay. And she come down visit me and la, 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 have you ever tried Mary Kay? And honestly, I got so many names that day, like boom, every single store I got names. And I gave cards and I got their numbers and I've sent them samples. And so you can do that with your other girlfriends. Don't have to be Mary Kay girlfriends. But let's just say because we like to go shopping, but let's say you're on a budget and you really don't need to be spending any money. You need some Mary Kay business. So go shopping with somebody else, because that's a great time. They're going to the person waiting on you is going to be just sitting out there and you're getting the names, right? Okay, that's a little tip too. Okay, let's see what else we have here. If there's any other questions on here. Thank you for all y'all's beautiful comments. Okay. What do you do when, Ann asked this, what do you do when you're working on your goal, but you just seem to be stuck in that same spot? This would be like a recruiting goal, possibly, like, Maybe you're stuck in your red jacket. Maybe you're stuck at senior. You're stuck. Okay. What would y'all say to someone who said that? Sayla, you want to answer that? That's your girl.
Oh, well, I was going to say she hears from me all the time.
She does. That's true. That's true. Jana, go ahead. Jana, you answer it.
I would reach up. I would reach up to someone that has gone before me and done what I'm looking to do. If I'm looking to do court of sales, I would contact someone that did court of sales. If I'm, if there's someone that is, just reach out to your sales director, ask her, hey, I'm stuck. What do I do?
And really the thing to get out of being stuck is activity. We all know that. Like anytime I'm stuck or I feel like nothing is happening in my Mary Kay office, like you're sitting there looking at a blank screen or looking at your blank phone. Activity, start reaching out to people, get your old list out, go to Facebook, see what friends are online, go through your phone contacts and who have you not talked to in a while, go through your profile cards, go through In Touch, look at your customers. There's some, if you've been in a couple of years, there might be some that bought something from you 2 years ago and you've not talked to them. That could be somebody you could give a buzz to, and so activity always gets me back fired up. It's inactivity. And it's usually when I've taken off or I've been, like my mind's been on other things, but it's like once remember in March when we decided to do that one a day, I had such a great month. I'm like, what, Cleta, you dork, why don't you do that again? But you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff gets you back going. But Anne, if it's like a recruiting goal and you just feel like, hey, I'm in my red jacket, but I want to move up to D. I know you've talked about wanting to be a DIQ. One of the things is you need to look at the numbers and that you have to talk. I mean, the numbers in Mary Kay, are you talking to 5 people to get 1? No, sometimes we get lucky. So you have to look at yourself and say, am I talking to 5 people a week to get 1 team member? And if you're not, then you can't really just be disappointed that you're not getting team members if you're not doing sharing appointments, because they don't just come beat down your door. I mean, if they did, I just think they would already beat mine down, but they still don't. I can put a pink Cadillac in the neighborhood and they wave and think I look like, like I'm in a Barbie car, but they don't come ask me if they can sign up on my team. I think they should, but I think that's one thing. You always want to look at the numbers. And then if you say, no, I'm doing the numbers, I am talking to at least 5 people a week to get my 1 team member a week. If you are doing that, then you have to look at that target market. What are their age groups? Do they have that target market that we've talked about before? Like, do they have a job? Do they have a house? Are they married? Do they have kids? They have some kind of higher education? Not that you have to have all those, but if you have like 2 out of the 5, there's some different things that you have better success with those numbers. Okay. Otherwise you have to do double or triple the numbers. So Jana, go ahead.
I also think that you need to do a checkup from the neck up, because that's what Zig Ziglar always said. And I always remember that, because I think you have to check your attitude, because are you saying nobody wants to book with me? Nobody wants to join my team. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts and what are you saying? Because you should check what's going on between your ears and refocus yourself on being very, very positive. And somebody said, when a day hasn't been the greatest and negative talk starts in, what do you stay out of the how do you stay out of the negative form? All you have to do is activity. Activity always brings, me into a different place.
And also you can, what are you reading? What are you listening to? If you're listening to a normal radio station or just regular TV, that is that's not very motivating, but there's so many sales directors and motivational people in Mary Kay that you can listen to. If you just listen to one person a day, just for 10 or 15 minutes, or read 10 pages a day, it just kind of keeps you on track. You're like, even if you start going off the road, it brings you back on. We all need that. And if you're really in a slump, maybe twice a day, that is really what helps me a lot.
Okay, thank you for those. And I hope that helps a little bit. Shannon asked, how do you get new consultants to think about getting in their red jacket? Moving them into red fast. Who would like to talk about that for a minute? Rosie, you want to talk about that?
Well, my first instinct was to say, leave that to your director. That's part of her job. But I think that, as consultants or as directors, we want you as consultants to be empowered as well. So I think it's super important that your people catch your enthusiasm. And I think that when you are recruiting and adding people, they're going to see what you're doing. Now, that's not just a magic thing that happens, obviously, but I think that when you work with your new consultants, and I think that's got to be up to your director too. So I don't want to really just give blanket advice, because I think you need to talk to your director about that. But I know that Jana and Katie and I are trying to work with our consultants to have them be, just enable them to do some of the things that we normally do with consultants, and getting to that next level. And so, like I said, I think that's something you need to talk to your director about, but I would just work with them on their launch party. I would work with them on their sharing calls. Just talk to them. Have you earned your pearls of sharing yet? Have you talked to your director about earning your pearls? Those kind of questions. I mean, you can be a cheerleader for them, and then you can do a little bit more, provided you've talked to your director if they are in agreement with that. But I think a lot of it is being a cheerleader for those people. And again, working with them on, how to do different things online, how to do a flash party, how to do some of the other stuff. Talk to them. Are they tuning into Boss Babe calls? What are they doing to help themselves? So that's just my idea.
Great advice.
I love that.
Go ahead. Do you saying something, Jen?
I was just going to say, I love that, because when you are, okay, so you do want them to recruit, but you also want them to make money. So when people are making money and they're recruiting through their pearls of sharing, so encourage them and ask them, even if they are working really with the sales director more, ask them on a regular basis. So have you earned your pearl earrings this week? What does that look like? Do you have some people? Do you have a list made? And so inspire that next step. And if people are recruiting and making money and they're happy, they will stay where they are loved and where they're making money and they're happy. So that will come on its own. So that was great, Rosie.
Yeah, and I will just say that I know Shannon is a DIQ. So at this level, you don't have to call your director to do your interviews and all that kind of stuff. You need to be doing them. But any consultant, even if you're brand new, because of the way they're paying you now, is you have the Bestie Vouchers. So that's one thing that say, hey, I just want you to understand a little bit on sharing. First of all, you have 3 vouchers that you're going to be able to give away, $25 off to your first 3 team members. And so what we like to do is let everyone try to get their first 3 within at least their first 4 months in the company, so that you don't waste your Bestie Vouchers. And say what that's going to do for you is you're going to have some team members, and don't worry, you don't have to train them all. If you don't know what you're doing, that's fine. Our director, and there's lots of training online, and you can learn together. But you're going to get a $100 bonus, or $50 when this is over this month, but $50 bonus when they're qualified, $100 for being a new red jacket. So you potentially could get a $600 if they all were qualified. Is that right? Well, this month, no, $400 if they were all qualified this month. So let's say you have a brand new girl and she gets 3 qualified this month. $100, $100, $100. Oh, your new red jacket, $100. And then you can look at her and pat her on the back and go, and you become a red jacket, I get $100, and I really got some bills to pay. No, I'm just kidding. But you could, but anyway, that's one thing to think about as well. So I do think the company really wants us all to be empowered to share. And somebody asked about how are you doing your sharing appointments, but I want to address, someone said, when you're out and about and you're wearing jeans, can you talk to someone about Mary Kay? And so I for sure just wanted to cover that. Mary Kay has always had a dress code, and they like us to wear, dresses or skirts when we are doing our Mary Kay business, doing a party or going to a sales meeting and things like that. And of course, virtual, y'all probably don't even want a fashion show of what all we're wearing from the bottom down, right? It could be pajama pants, it could be a skirt, or it could be a pair of shorts. But when you're out and about, okay, I feel like you can approach anybody when you're out and about Mary Kay, as long as you're dressed appropriately for what you're doing. Now, if I'm out and about, well, this would not be me, okay, but it could be some of y'all. If I was out and about with 0 makeup on and a t-shirt and shorts, and I am shopping like at Winn-Dixie or something, and I'm, I probably would not, if I feel like I look like a dog, talk to someone about Mary Kay. Okay. However, if I'm at the gym working out and everybody's there, nobody's got makeup on, what do? Yeah, I'm a Mary Kay. You're appropriate for what you're doing, right? See what I'm saying? So if I had a pair of jeans on, I'm at a ball game, sure, I can talk some Mary Kay there too. When I go to do her facial, I'll have a skirt or a dress on, So that's the biggest thing, we have to recruit and book and talk Mary Kay everywhere. So don't limit yourself. Now, I will say, when I joined Mary Kay 35 years ago, I had on my Mary Kay pin, and I just had it on with a little shirt and a pair of jeans. And my recruiter got on to me and said, we don't wear our pins with jeans. I'm like, the nerve, I was 23. I'm like, seriously, this is a cute sweater. And I love these jeans, but I just didn't get the concept. So what she reminded me of is that when I wore my Mary Kay pin, this says Mary Kay, or a name tag, it kind of signifies that I'm working. So I don't want to be dressed like, I want to be dressed like a Mary Kay beauty consultant when I wear my pin. So if I have jeans and stuff on, I don't wear my Mary Kay pin with my jeans. Will I talk Mary Kay? Yes, I will. Okay. Do y'all understand the difference in that? So, would I wear maybe another pin that's had something cute on it? And someone goes, oh, I really like your pin. And I would say, oh, thank you. I actually won this in Mary Kay. You see what I mean? But to wear the pin or wear my name tag when I'm not dressed like a Mary Kay beauty consultant. For example, I did see a girl and she had on a tank top, a T-top, where a bra was showing and then the strap, and there was barely enough room to put her Mary Kay pin on. So she had it right down here, almost like on her bra, and a pair of Daisy Dukes with some sandals. And I'm like, excuse me, lady, take that pin off, which I did not say that. She wasn't in my unit, but that's not a good representative of Mary Kay when you're that way. Now, could she still talk to one of her girlfriends wherever she was going? Of course she could, or see some, but so you just have to use a little discernment on that too, because we want to be classy, not trashy. Got it? Okay. Did I answer that?
I think that, I totally agree with what you said about appropriate dress and everything. But I think that when, you are at a ball game or you are in a different situation and you may not look exactly like the Mary Kay lady, it lets those people see, hey, I can do this too. I don't have to look a certain way to sell Mary Kay. The only exception I will say is one time I had a booth and it was like for women bikers. And I just could not imagine me wearing a dress and a whole, so I wore a cute Mary Kay t-shirt and I wore black jeans, so it is, I think,
that's absolutely true.
You know what I mean? And
when
so
when you're on an outside
other
booth,
than that,
when you're doing an outside booth and it's casual, you would look kind of silly in a business suit. I'm just saying. So yeah, that, you know what? That's why MK Connections has shirts that say Mary Kay on it, and other things. So just dress for the occasion, for sure. Thank you for that. Thank you for those extra comments on that. Okay, let's look on it over here. Okay, when a day hasn't been the greatest, the negative talk starts in the brain. What do you do to stay out of the negative farm? And Loree answered this and she had to jump off. She said affirmations and a challenge with a power partner. And that's so true. I mean, really, scriptures. I start my morning with a Bible study, and we're doing a director's Bible study. So any of you DIQs, once you become a director, we'd love to have you on there. But it has really helped me start my day better. And I used to get up and I would look at my phone and I would do some things, but now I just can't do that because I get caught up. So I don't even look at the phone. I know there's probably stuff on there, but instead I wait and then I go to my little table and I do my little Bible study and I, eat my little whatever, raisin toast or Pop-Tart or whatever. Y'all could probably drink your coffee. And then I do my prayer and then I pick up the phone and see what's going on for the day because I want to put that first. And that really helps me start my day off in a much more positive manner, and I found that it just it kind of gets me back on track if I feel like I'm having a negative attitude. You guys agree with that?
Something that I've been doing, because not that I feel like I've had a negative attitude, but there's just been some
Hard
just
day.
stuff going on in my life. And something that some people end a day with this. Sometimes I start the day with some kind of like a gratitude journal and just write down 3 things that I'm thankful for, because sometimes it's not really hard to find things, but at the time you think, God, everything's just kind of crashing down. What's going on? But when you start really thinking about it, you will find, I'm confident that you'll be able to find at least 3 things to be thankful for. So that's what I do.
That's so true. Very good advice, Rosie. Very good advice. Okay, ladies. So we're going to end the last 15 minutes by saying one tip for the next 6 weeks for these ladies. One tip that you would give someone that's really trying to hustle these next 6 weeks to accomplish something. And so just kind of think about what you would want to give them, and then we'll end it with that. Okay. So
I'll just share something that I'll just share something that I did, and it was totally legal to do this, and it ended up getting me quite a bit in sales. And I really wasn't so much attempting to do that, but this is the first year that I have, every year I think I've said, I'm really going for Queen's Court of sharing or Queen's Court of sales. But this is the year I really meant it. And I am totally on track for doing that. I only need 1,500 retail, which is only 750 wholesale. I know I'm going to do it, but I just put a picture of the ring on my regular Facebook page, and I didn't ask anybody to buy anything. I just put how close I was. Boy, I was getting like messages right and left, private messages about how can I help you reach your goal? And I didn't even ask anybody, so I would just put your goal out there. Don't be afraid to put your goal out there on your regular page. But on your Mary Kay page, on your customer page, then you can talk about sales and stuff like that. But don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid. Make sure they know what you're going for. I think that is so important, to make sure that they know what your goal is and why that's important to you. Not just that you have a goal, it's the why. Why is that so important to you? So it was just a simple thing, but it kind of worked. So
beautiful. I love it. Okay. Who else would like to give a tip? Jana, go ahead.
I would say have a crystal clear goal and a vision for what you want to achieve by June 30th. Don't say, I think I might want to earn my red jacket, and you know what? If you're not on target for quota sales, quota sharing, or whatever, look at the Princess Court. Can you hit Princess Court? Look at the Star Quarter. What can you finish by June 15th in the Star Quarter? Or where can you be on the career path? And then I would honestly say accountability is key, because sometimes let me see, it happens. You know what I mean? Like something happens, you got to take your dog to the vet, and then your kid has a fever, or falls off the monkey bars, or you've got a whole bunch of baseball games and soccer games going on, and then all this, some drama started happening. Life happens, and especially when you've got big honking goals, Satan wants to come in there and steal that thunder, God's thunder. And so he doesn't want you to achieve it. So there's going to be lots of distractions. So have a crystal clear goal, and then make sure that you have that accountability. Tell your independent sales director, this is what I'm doing. Okay. Or tell your power partner sister, if you're a sales director, this is what I'm doing. And so can I touch base with you every Friday at 5, let you know what I've done for the week and what I've got going on the next week, or maybe even turn in your 6 most important list to your independent sales director via text every night for the next day. And then you can tell her, like let's say you send her the one for Monday right now, and then Monday night, you're going to send her Tuesdays, and you're going to say, oh my gosh, guess what I accomplished today? This is what I did. So you can share your victories, but then also have that accountability. So, and I think knowing where you need accountability and clarity. So that's what I got. Great.
Okay, Sharon, you want to go next?
Oh, I was just thinking, this is great. I'm enjoying this so much. I think you need to believe in yourself. and you believe that you can do it. I remember when I was going for directorship, I'm like, I've got my blinders on. I used to live in Charleston. Cleveland knows the horses have their blinders on. I put them on. And if you didn't want to talk about Mary Kay to me, do not talk to me. And I remember going to my accountant, and he said, he was doing chatting. He says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going for a big goal. I'm going to be a director of Mary Kay." And he said, "Well, can I help?" I said, "Yes, you can sign your wife up." And he did. She never did anything, but she counted. So I just think you just have to put those blinders on and put yourself under God's protection. Tell your husband, you're going to be cooking this week. I'm not going to be cooking. You're going to be taking the kids where they need to go. I'm not going to be doing that. And it's going to be worth it. And enroll your kids. They get $1 for every recruit you get, and they will leave you alone. You know?
I love it. That's great,
So,
Sharon. Okay,
so
thank you.
Put that on you. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Selah.
I have two things. Number one is in the day of social media when, everything looks so pretty online, just remember that your goal, you do not have to finish and it looks so pretty going across the finish line. You may be crawling, crying, dragging yourself across, but just work to the end and don't worry about what it looks like to anybody else, because really it is your race, and just do not give up until the end. And then my tip is I use this income producing sheet every day. But what I have started doing is this one's got a lot of stuff on the back, but I write down my goal. I have 3 goals for the month of May, and I write them down every single day on the back of my paper or somewhere on my paper. And what that does is, like Janice said, have a crystal clear goal. Sometimes, like Cleta said, what was your goal that we talked about at the first of the year? No, you probably can't even remember if you haven't been writing it down and had it in front of you. And so that's what happens to me is I set the goal and I'm like, what did I say I was going to do? So when I write it down every day, it not only reminds me, but somehow it gives you confidence and courage to just keep going, no matter what it looks like, because, we're in charge of the work, God's in charge of the harvest, and just write it down. And it just a simple, not a paragraph, and don't, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just write it down each day and it stays right in front of you.
Beautiful. I love it. And I want to welcome, I see we have a brand new consultant just signed up today that's on the call, Gail Thomas.
Oh.
And so congratulations, Gail. Hey, listen, we're heavy hitting at you today. So it's okay if all this sounds a little Greek to you. And so someone else asked, what kind of sharing appointments do we do? Rachel asked that. And Rachel, probably what I would do right now is get with Maureen and see how she's sharing the opportunity and let her train you on that. But one easy way to do it is use the Discover What You Love if you look under your digital showcase with Mary Kay, there it's got some great flyers and things like that you can use. It's really, really easy. And there's a lot of us have just been using even just that one sheet of paper, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, what you love about Mary Kay, and flip it over the back, shows the starter kit. So that's an idea as well. So get with Maureen and talk with her about that. And the biggest thing is don't get it too complicated. My first few people that I recruited, I just said, don't you want to sell Mary Kay with me? Come on, let's do it. Come on. And they signed up. I mean, I know that was not real. Of course, it was my sister. I can tell her what to do. She's younger than me. And so, but anyway, the other thing is I want to say last week we had Mary Kay's birthday. And I wanted to just say, you can sell a lot of product between now and the next 6 weeks, but you don't have to discount it. I want y'all to remember this, because Mary Kay, she used to say, don't yard sell our Mary Kay products. And that doesn't mean just don't sell them at your yard sale, but don't yard sell them down to like you're giving away all your Mary Kay. Okay. And I know I've talked about this before with some of y'all have heard me already, but you can do, instead of like discounting it everything, my whole entire inventory is 50% off. Well, you guys, why would anybody want to sign up and sell Mary Kay? Because you're going to give it to them 50% off anyway, right? So I sell at full price. I like to make 50%. Okay. So what I do is I do other things like for Mary Kay's birthday. I decided on Monday, you should do something. I just hadn't decided what I was going to do. So I thought, I'm going to have $1,000 day. That's what I'm going to do. So I put it out there on Monday night that I was going to have $1,000 day. I put a little flyer, put it on my customer page. And then I sent an email on Tuesday about it and just told them I was going to have $1,000 day in honor of Mary Kay and how much I love Mary Kay and what she'd done for me, blah, blah, blah. And that one person would get a gift card. This is the idea I want to share with you. That one person was going to get a gift card according to her order. If whoever wins, however much they order from me, they're going to get that much in free product. Like they're already going to pay for their order. All the stuff is paid for. So if they ordered $100 and they were the winner, they would get another $100 free. And so that's exactly what I did. And you guys, it's crazy because I have people that says, hey, I got your text. Oh, and then I texted the day of us too. And I said, like, I got your text and I'm really sorry. I just been really busy. I said, girl, that's okay. I said, tell me what you need. She says, well, I don't really need that much, but I really do want to help you win your $1,000 day. So just give me some hydrogel eye patches and some mascara. I said, well, all right, girl, thank you so much. And she goes, I said, well, I'll let you know if you win. She goes, I'm not worried about that. I just wanted you to win. Okay, so y'all, this is someone that I met. She came up to me at the post office and knocked on my window and said, do you sell Mary Kay? And so she ended up coming by the house. I gave her a facial. I don't even remember what she bought that day, and I hadn't seen her since. But I got her on my list. She said that. And then I had another girl. She goes, oh, I don't know what all I needed. She goes, but just go ahead and give me another repair set. Ka-ching. Okay, and so 2 of my women bought repair sets that day. And one girl bought some other stuff too. So it ended up being over $1,000. And so I got on my customer page. I went to that will-decide, you can look on decide.com, and I put my customers' names in there and I spun the wheel. Boom. The girl won it. She had ordered $30 and she wasn't even on my customer page. And so I messaged her. I'm like, hey, join my page right now and watch the video. You'll thank me later. So she did. And she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And so anyway, I just wanted to give you that one quick idea. That's a great way to have a sale, but not discount. Do a drawing instead. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that out in case you had not thought of that. The other thing is buy from yourself. I just went to a graduation thing at my church and we had 8 seniors. And so they had their displays all set up. I don't know how y'all's church does it or if y'all even do that, and some of the kids I don't really know that well, be honest with you. But I felt like I wanted to give something to all 8 of them. Well, that gets kind of pricey, right? You don't want to seem cheap. Can't give them $5. I mean, they're not 10-year-olds, right? So I sat there and the girls, easy. I gave them Mary Kay products. I had some of those Mad About Masking, and I had a little devotional book I gave them and a lip gloss. A discontinued, our discontinued lip glosses. Yes, nothing wrong with them, right? And one of them I gave them mascara, eye makeup remover, and a lip gloss. But the guys, I was like, what am I going to give these guys? And I thought, because I don't really know them that well, but I found from my stash the little where we used to have those hair and body wash, and they were in these little mesh bags. I'm like, score. Yeah. And I had enough of them. And so that's what they all got. And so I'm just saying, when it comes down to you giving for graduation gifts and some other things like that, don't forget about your own products. Don't discount your products too much, and don't forget that you have a great store. Why go give money to somebody else when you got it right there? So I just want to say that. And of course, like Father's Day and things like that. So I was going to do those sparkling cherry gift sets for all the girls, and I ordered them, but alas, they have not come in. And so y'all know we're all kind of like waiting on our products. And so I think it's going to come in tomorrow. So I'll have to sell those instead. But that's another little tip for sales for you for this month as well. Okay. All right, ladies, listen, thank you for the great conversations on here. And let me look over here at YouTube. I don't even see any chat. So I don't know if I don't have the chat on. Probably that's what I did. But anyway, you guys, if you're on YouTube watching, honestly, if you got some questions, just put them in the chat and I'll try to answer them for you. Okay. Because we know all. We don't know all. Hey, we don't know all, but you know what we do know? We know that we're never going to get out of Mary Kay, and we're going to keep on keeping on till we reach our goals. That's what we know. And so you got to cross that line to where you're like, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it no matter what. And so thank y'all for paying attention today. Directors, you did a fabulous job. I knew this would be awesome. And that's why I wanted to do it. So you guys have a great, great week.